So to share my story, I've been involved with Shaklee. Actually started when I was 17 years old using just a multivitamin for anemia, and have continued throughout the years using the products for my family, using them for all my clients, definitely for all different purposes, some for weight loss, some for energy, some for improved health, some to get off medication, some looking for natural options. And cannot say enough good things about the Shaklee products, and that's why we believe in them and support them throughout our reset. And some of these products you're going to notice are also included, and we're going to kind of highlight some of them. And if you would like more details, that's why we're doing this. So you can ask more questions and we'd be happy to answer them. So just to kind of continue to move on here and mention a little bit more into our reset, which we are starting next week, Monday. So don't forget, that's going to be Monday through Friday. So you can adjust this a little bit. So if you know, for example, you have something you have to go out of town for on Monday, you could start Tuesday, that's fine. But we really want to do our best to stick with 5 days. There's actually research and studies that has proven 5 days is going to be the best amount of time to help to get the best results and to really help to create a little bit more of creating that lifestyle and those habit changes. So we're going to again go through this in a little bit more detail here soon, but wanted to share just a few things here. Testimonials, are always great, and I'm not always a big before and after picture person, but I do want you to know that there have been 12-week studies done on this 5-day reset to prove that the average weight loss was actually 5 to 7 pounds, and that's great for some people doing this for weight loss. My personal purpose was never to do it for weight loss, and we actually do this every month. Myself and my husband, he's always a trooper and does it with me, and I think that our reason for doing it is more just to get us back to whole food eating and getting rid of some of the things that sneak back in our diet. Holidays, sugar is a big one for myself, but it is amazing the cravings and the things that you'll notice really do start to go away after only 5 days. So the top picture there, Ashley McDonald, she just took her before and after pictures. Same with the ones on the right there, Stacy. These are all people we know. So it's, just kind of fun to have some pictures. And Tara's going to kind of share a little bit of her testimony real fast. So if you don't mind, Tara, let you introduce yourself here.
Thanks, Amanda, for having me. My experience with the reset specifically, I didn't do the first one that Amanda invited me to. And it was just because I had a little bit of fear that, it was so much planning, it took so much work. And it really wasn't like that at all. I was very pleased with the experience, especially because I was having a few difficulties with stress and anxiety issues. I also have ADHD, and I was on medication for that. I wanted to find an alternative way to deal with these things. I mean, I was deep breathing. I was doing, for anxiety and things like that. But I really thought that there had to be something in my diet that needed to be changed. So when this reset came about this past summer, I got on board and I said, okay, I'm going to commit to it. And I cannot tell you how much better I felt after doing the 5 days. I mean, the first 2 days were not super pleasant. I mean, it's a shift. It's a change in the way you eat. It's a change in the way you think about things. But that was one of the best parts in the end. How I felt after. I was so pleased that I started thinking more about the choices in my food, and it wasn't an obsession. It was you know what? I don't really need to eat that chip or whatever, because first of all, I didn't have the cravings I used to have. I had the sugar. I am a sugaraholic, but I can't say that now. I'm not. In fact, this Christmas, I hardly had any sugar cookies or anything like that. But and I haven't had coffee since May. That's one thing that this reset really helped me do, is kick the coffee habit. And I wasn't a huge coffee fanatic, but 3 times a week, at Starbucks, and that saved me money. So I was able to put that money toward my nutrition goals. So I was just super pumped that this is coming up again. I really feel that we missed December on purpose, but I'm really ready for January. In fact, I went today and got all my things, and I'm all set already. So I'm excited.
Nice. You go. Way to be prepared. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And again, guys, you want to ask questions anytime, feel free to stop us. And I apologize, I'm losing my voice a little bit. So if you couldn't understand me, make sure you let me know, and I'll go back and repeat some of this. So moving on.
Amanda, I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure I said one more thing. My husband did it with me the second time around, and he was impressed. He was kind of skeptical. He had never really had breakfast. Like he didn't eat cereal or anything like that. But once he started introducing the shake into his diet as a normal routine for that after the reset for breakfast, that's all he's been doing for the past 7 months. And he's actually had his weight loss be sustained. So he lost 8 pounds and he has kept that off. So that's awesome.
That is great. And yeah, that's very important to highlight just by adding, breakfast, he actually lost weight.
The right breakfast.
Right. That's amazing. Yeah, no, for sure. Thanks for sharing. And I know your daughter's even done it. So this is even perfect for teenagers and all ages. And I think that's what makes this different that I want to emphasize is this is not an unsafe cleanse. Cleanses are all over the place right now. Mm-hmm. Your detoxes and many of those prove to be very unsafe. And if you notice, they're all trends. And this is not a trend. This is trying to get you to adapt to healthier lifestyles and trying to make better choices. And if you look at some of the things on the screen here, a lot of times we're not observant of things that are actually illnesses that we can fix just by changing our diet. And we want to get rid of these symptoms now before they turn into something major. And that's where this reset is a great place to begin on really focusing on getting rid of toxins, working on whole food eating, trying to get rid of processed foods and really getting rid of the chemicals. So, and I know some of the principles that I like to work from quite a bit if you guys have ever watched any of the Forks Over Knives or read any of the books or anything, but those are great places, that are long-term suggestions, and that's what Shaklee's built over to here. So some of the benefits, if you're not familiar with why we're looking at doing this reset, it's amazing how every one of us may have a different goal. Could be weight loss, could be addiction to some type of caffeine. It could be to helping with getting off meds, could be for balancing hormones, for helping with metabolism, just to get rid of cravings. So whatever it is for you, it's just important you remember that you have your goal in mind and start to think about, maybe some things as you're stepping into this. Maybe for some of us, the first time ever doing something like this of, where is your diet at now? Are you starting at a place where you are really far down? You're really nervous about this. You can take this in baby steps. And that's also the reason I really think this is a great program. I mean, I'm certified nutritionist, personal trainer. I've been doing this for years, and I've never found a program that I like because I feel like they're too restrictive. They're too hard to follow, where this is very simple. And getting you to think about, what happens when our body starts to not have the appropriate vitamins and minerals. And the illnesses we're seeing today oftentimes are stemming from malnutrition. And unfortunately, the standard American diet has proven over and over again to be actually led to forms of malnutrition. And that's why we see such high rate of disease today. So we want to look at trying to incorporate as many vitamins and minerals as we can and to help give ourselves this whole food option. So we're trying to eliminate a lot of things that are causing us to hold on to weight, to have less energy, to not sleep well. So that's what this is all about. So just a real quick introduction, because I know some of you are newer to Shaklee that are on, so I'm going to just kind of touch on this here real quickly. Shaklee's actually been around for 100 years. They created the first multi-mineral supplement in 1915. So nothing new. Shaklee is not something that is going to come and go and be a quick, trend like all these new companies we're hearing about, the Plexus and the Juice Plus. There's so many of them out there you hear about. And generally look at where's their science, where's their research, do they actually have any third-party clinical study testing done? Is there anything in peer-reviewed medical journals that actually proves their products work and that they're safe? And that's where Shaklee goes beyond anything that's out there as far as organic regulations. You'll never find anything artificial. There's products, there's over 300 products. It's not just a company that's focused on one product. They try to really work on everything from the inside and out to help create better health. So just a couple things here to point out for the Shaklee difference, that really if you look at here on the left side here, purity, potency, and performance. Those are the three main things that really should stand out when you look at a company like Shaklee. The fact that the purity concept, that the products are quality. When you look at the fact that this 350 tests that are done, that's actually before they create a product, during, and after. So some of the supplements you see today, they may test them before it's actually created, and then afterwards they're getting recalled because of findings in their products later. And that is very important that you know that it is safe all the time. Shaklee's never had a recall in 100 years. The fact that they're potent, when you look at your scientific peer-reviewed medical journals that I mentioned, that there's over 125 published papers proving the effectiveness of the products that they work. And just real quickly here, the performance. You know, if you look at, I think I always go right to this Olympic medal one, because I feel like if you know Shaklee Olympic athletes are using them, they have the higher standards of anybody for performance. So, and they have a whole performance team. So that's awesome to know that their products are going to be doing what they say they're doing. And just to mention here real quickly, a couple other things with the products. You know, they've had the longest study ever done on supplements. And just to notice here, you know, this was a 20-year study. And after 20 years, the average person that was 63 years old, a Shaklee user, again, had using multivitamins for over 20 years, had 0.6 medications written per year. And that's unheard of when you look at today. And I guarantee you guys, if you were to mention some of your parents and grandparents, and you know that they're on medications, and that's something that becomes, I think, more unnecessary as you look at what we can do naturally. And that's where this reset is starting to help kick us off here. And this was also some numbers on the landmark study. I'm big on the research just to prove, again, this isn't just us trying to sell something. There's actually data backing. These are biomarkers of showing how health over these 20 years, what happened. If you can look at here real quickly too, no supplements compared to other supplements. Again, after 20 years, if you notice here, the difference between the people that use no supplements were actually healthier than people using store brand like GNC and Target and Walmart. I mean, that is very sad to say that sometimes people are actually doing more harm than good using store brand products. So just to highlight that, you know, again, important to note these things. So, all right, here we go, getting into our 5-day reset and some things we want to make sure we mention. I think one of the biggest things that should even be added with that Shaklee difference that we want you to know is the support. You know, that we are here. Like, that is very unique to this experience, is that we're here to answer questions anytime, that we'll help you with recipes. If you need some suggestions of, you know, hey, I really need to lose 5 more pounds, what do I need to do? We're here, you know, free advice anytime. We're more than happy to help you, and to really use our Facebook page and our group. That is a great thing to have as support also as we're going here. So we'll be posting throughout there recipes, ideas, suggestions, and helping to clarify any questions you may have. So here we go, a quick breakdown. First of all, we need to, as soon as possible, look at doing our measurements and doing our weight. And I always like pictures, and not that you have to share your pictures if you want to, great. But that is a great place to start, is getting to know, okay, where's your starting point? And that's what this is to do here. So again, pictures, measurements, and doing your weight here beforehand. We'd love you to do that here as soon as possible. Maybe another one joining us. Hi. So if we look at here, our start of our day, we're going to begin with our lemon water, and I'm going to explain why very soon here. With warm water and lemon and our vitamins, we move into our breakfast, which is going to be our shake, our snack, our lunch, snack again, dinner, tons of recipes, so you'll never get bored. We have so many options to help you give some ideas here of how you're going to make these smoothies, and again, great for kids too, and snack ideas. You know, we're going to give you options that can carry over very easily after this reset to help you with, again, continuing those goals. So here's what we do when we wake up. Why do we start with the warm water with lemon? If you know anything about the purpose of that, basically warm water helps to stimulate our metabolism. So it's a great thing to begin with first thing when we wake up, ideally, about 12 to 16 ounces of water. And if you look at here some of the benefits of drinking, you know, warm water, it's a great way to, again, just get things going. But we also give you the option to be able to create this into we call it our performance tea. We have all different names for it, but this is going to give you a little bit more of a boost, and this is all optional. You could just choose, start with the water with lemon, great. But I know for many of us, we need a little bit extra energy. So, you know, I have some people that use this even as their pre-workout drink. They use this for helping them to replace electrolytes. So as you're detoxing, and even if you're doing the reset, doesn't matter which version, which by the way, there's really 2. You can look at the reset, and you can look at more of the cleanse, and we're going to go over those differences here soon. But if you add in here the performance, it's going to help to give you extra hydration. We want to drink a ton of water in these next upcoming 5 days. So at least half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, That's 100 ounces. So many of us, we don't even get close to that on a daily basis. So we need to make sure we are adamantly tracking and making sure that we are getting what we need. And by adding the tea in there, this is going to help us to get over some of those caffeine withdrawals. Some of us that maybe need that little pick-me-up during the day, you can do this again during the day too. So the performance mixed with the tea, and the great thing about this, it's not addicting. There's no, again, anything artificial in there, but it has nutrient qualities and it's actually healthy, unlike some of the, if you ever used energy drinks or anything out there, things in there leading to heart attacks and stroke increased risk. I mean, we have nothing that we have to worry about with this tea. I've used the tea for probably at least 15 years now, and it's just a great way to help, again, give yourself that natural energy boost. So you can start your day with this. And then we get into what are we going to do for your breakfast. So we start with the water, then we move into having our shake and our vitamins, and this is going to fuel you. This is Shaklee's food-based nutrition. So it's just like you're eating, but giving you a concentrated source that's going to be guaranteed to be delivered at the right time. So there's different options, good, better, and best. So you can kind of pick and choose where your starting point is. So no matter what, though, we need to have the vitamins to cover what we're not going to be, maybe not getting in our diet, which even if we ate perfect, we still need vitamins. So this is just guaranteeing we're getting what we need. So you can look at just a basic multivitamin in your protein and adding the Omega Guard, which is going to be your fish oils. Or you can progress up here to the Vitalizer and the Life Shake, or the Life Strip and the Life Shake. And again, we will help guide you in what is the best approach. But if you look at here, for example, the better option, that's where a lot of people steer towards. This is actually enough for a month's supply of your shakes. So having one a day, this would be a month. So obviously 2 a day, you're going to be, cutting that back, and 3 a day, that's going to be, giving you a little extra than what you need necessarily for your reset. The vitamins, that's a month's supply. So if you broke that down, it's just about $4.79 a day, just to kind of help give you a picture of, what is the cost. And this is what you're going to get in one strip of Vitalizer. And if you look at all these foods, for most of us, we don't eat all these things every day. And I know that I do not eat what is like 2 cups of sardines ever. And by having your Life Strip, you're guaranteed to be getting, your Vitalizer, all of that into a concentrated form, very simple, no bottles. This was all created after that landmark study, so it goes to show these were the things that we really are lacking from our diet we need to be intaking. So our probiotics, this has your vitamin B's and your C's, helping with dealing with some of the stress that we may have every day, to help replace some of those B's that's in here, your C for immunity, your 2 multivitamins, your carotenoids, and your omegas. So again, very comprehensive and continued, has over 80 nutrients that are delivered throughout your body for over 12 hours. So you don't have to worry about separating them, taking them at different times. You take them once and boom, you're ready for the day. So love the convenience of those two. So now we get into options of if you're looking at more of the detox, this is where we can add into doing different things here. So I don't want to confuse anybody. I just want you to know the options, because there's some of us that we've done this before. So we make this a little more comprehensive. Some of us, we're the all or nothing personality. If we're going to do it, we're going big, so we're going to do everything. So you can kind of pick and choose here where you would like to add in here, but I'm going to go through and explain these here real quickly. So a couple of the starting points. If you look at your 3 main organs that we really want to help support and prepare our bodies for absorbing nutrients better, we want to look at our liver, our kidneys, and our colon. And that's what these 3 products are geared towards. So we have our liver DTX. If you know what your liver does, basically your liver is your first thing and your first organ that filters your food and your water, and that handles a lot of stress. So your liver, if you hear of liver toxicity, people are living in sluggish liver over time, it's something that will help to stimulate the bile flow. So it's helping to remove what shouldn't be in there, and also to stimulate healthy liver cells. So liver DTX, I feel like, a lot of us, I think a lot of us here actually are around the same age, but if you've ever had surgery, you've ever had a lot of medications in your system, you've ever drank alcohol, all the things that could cause your liver to slow down, we need to stimulate that again. That's what the liver DTX does. The next one is your herb lax. People always get a little nervous when they see lax, which means laxative, of course. But this was actually started, Shaklee created this product in 1917. And in other countries, the main ingredient in this, called senna leaf, has actually been used over 3,000 years to act as a way to help improve regularity. It's very gentle. There's nothing that you have to worry about. It's going to cause you to be in the bathroom all the time. It's designed to help with getting out, again, what you don't need, and relieving constipation, helping to be more regular. So, and also a detoxifier. And it's a great thing because if you look at over-the-counter artificial laxatives, so some of the things, if you've ever heard of Miralax is a very popular one, but those are artificial. And what does that do? That causes electrolyte imbalances, and it also can weaken your organs, and it can actually cause you to be dehydrated because you lose too much at one time. So learning the difference there is pretty important. And the last one to mention is alfalfa. And I know myself, I have continued to be on this for many years for circulatory issues, but alfalfa is, if you've ever heard of it before, it's actually in Arabic, it means the father of all foods. So alfalfa is one of the deepest growing plants. It actually grows 20 feet deep and absorbs trace minerals. So it's extremely beneficial to helping with, in the purpose of our reset, to bind heavy metals and get them to release from your body. It also is great for helping as a natural diuretic and helps with detoxifying and a body cleanser. So it's perfect to not only remove, but because it has so many nutrients, it helps to rebuild at the same time. So love alfalfa, and definitely feel like that is one of the main, if you have to pick one thing to add with your vitamins and shake, usually I would start to lead you into the alfalfa. So moving on here to some of the other things here, we have our stress relief, B complex, the T we've already talked about here. Now the stress relief, and again, nobody is the same. We're all different. So we have to figure out where are the things that we need more help with. Your stress relief is going to be for those of us that really have a hard time with change. If we notice as we're going through this reset, or even just more stress in our life that we have a hard time dealing with it, this is going to make things easier for you. It's going to help with blunting cortisol and also helping with making the mood swings a little easier for some of us that may struggle with that. Your B complex also kind of similar in the fact that it helps to bring a more sense of calm to you and helping to replace some of the things you could be losing from the reset as you're going here and getting rid of more. So some people need these also to help replace. And then your T, like we talked about, natural source of energy. There's also some other products that are included in the reset, which I'm not going to go over in too much detail, but garlic is another one that is very important because it acts as nature's penicillin. It really helps to build up your antibodies, and it can be used as a great way to heal inside too. So garlic would be another optional one, which again, I didn't include that too much in here, but you'll see it on a sheet here coming up soon. So in our life shake, what are we getting through that meal? Why are we doing the life shake? Real quickly here, this is some of the things that you're getting from one shake. So I know personally there's no way I could I could eat all this, but a matter of finding the time to make all of this to do in one meal would be very difficult. So this is what's found in one shake there. And just to note some of the other properties, that it's perfectly balanced. It's all plant-based. There's non-genetically modified. Everything you need to know. Shaklee spent the last 60 years continuing to improve their proteins, and this one is no different. It has probiotics now and prebiotics, first protein powder ever to guarantee release of live probiotics into your intestinal tract. And it also has in there your omegas, which if you know anything about omegas to nowadays, they're saying inflammation is leading to so many of the causes today of what we're seeing with cancer and many other, arthritis, anything that has to do with causing overgrowth in your body. We need more of our omegas. And if we eat the fish, that's great, but oftentimes our fish has so much lead and mercury and PCBs in it that we're almost better to supplement because we know that it's clean, and that Shaklee actually has a molecular distillation system that it guarantees to pull any of those out of there, so it's perfectly clean. And also with the Life Shake, we're working on trying to basically retain our muscle mass. There's something in there called leucine, which is an amino acid that helps to make sure we're losing fat but keeping our muscle. And anytime we're looking at making healthy changes, that's what we want. We don't want our weight loss to be coming just from water. We don't want the weight loss coming from muscle. We want it to be coming from body fat. So that is a very different concept from what you hear from most of your options today here. And just also for the reset, some people prefer to have a bar. So there are snack bars, there's meal bars if you choose. So I prefer the shakes because it also has in there, again, more nutrients, but on the go, or some of us that, maybe you don't have time to make a shake and you're out and about, these are great to keep. I keep them in the car, in the purse. Kids love them too, but great options to have your balance of protein, low glycemic, helps keep your energy stable. So let's go through here real quick of what your meals are going to look like during this reset. So your breakfast, recapping, warm water with lemon, option to add the tea in the performance. Then you're going to have your Life Shake and your vitamins. What can you eat during this? You can have anything raw, all raw fruits and veggies. You can even steam them. That is perfectly fine. So if you need to steam them, you're still going to keep your nutrients in there. That is great. We also want to look at, though, adding some things to make sure that we are not getting bored. So avocados, I'm always adding those. You can make salads. You don't want anything that has a sauce on it generally, because that's going to have artificial things in there. So if you need a sauce, you can do things like vinegar, salsa. That's great. But we're even trying to, if you can, do without coffee. Most people don't like coffee black. So I usually just say, if you can, cut the coffee, use the tea if you need to. But we don't want anything that is causing our body to be overstimulated. We're giving our digestive system a break. So we're getting all these live enzymes from real food. And if we put the processed food in there, that's going to take away from how our body is healing. So if you look at your lunch, you can have your shake again. You can have a salad if you want to eat with that, great. You can have as much water during the day. We want you to continue to do that. And your other shake, and again, option to do a salad if you choose. So what are we trying to avoid with this? We want to avoid meat, because it takes at least up to 2 days for your body to process meat. That is very hard on your digestive system. So if you're a big meat eater, this is going to be a challenge for you to cut that. And a lot of it becomes, we'll go over here what happens day 1, day 2 pretty soon here. But that can be a tough thing, even just mentally, to how to prepare to not have meat. But you will be amazed. I know Tara's done this too, and she'll probably say the same thing, that I have never been hungry on a reset. I actually sometimes do not want the third shake because I am full. And if you guys know me very well, I eat probably more than all of you guys almost together, because I eat all the time. So for me to say that, that's pretty impressive. So I can promise you that's something to note too, that if you're doing this right, you're not going to be hungry. So, and then your snacks, have them throughout the day, as many as you need. And again, unlimited water. But we're also trying to keep away dairy, because that's another common trigger of allergies and creates inflammation, and also is really hard for us to break down. Oils, salt, alcohol, and we should have on here pop, soda. We do not want any of that during our reset. So take that out of there too. Here's a quick little sheet. This is also in our reset group underneath files. So you can get an idea of, where's your cost? How do you want to start? And where's your breakdown? So whoever you're working with, you can go through and figure out the best plan for you to get the right things that you need. But again, it's great that it's so adaptable to everybody, and you can pick and choose where you'd like to start at. This sheet is also a good one to print. I just posted it yesterday. So you can print this, keep this on hand as a reminder. How are you going to break down taking your supplements? Where's your lunch or dinner? What are you having for your snack? Helpful tips on here. So keep that page handy. I think that's very helpful. And just some more testimonials here real quickly. And again, I do like testimonials, because I feel like, anybody could write these and make them skewed. But the point, if you look at these, is, improving sleep, improving energy level there on the first ones, and little steps making a big difference. And that's what we're all about here. We're not looking at, in 5 days, you're going to lose 100 pounds and you're going to say that you're now, the perfect person and now has these perfect eating habits. It's not about that. It's trying to continue to make those changes. So, losing weight, yes, that's great. I think it's a good jump start also for many of us, that just like that little boost. So, look at there too, some of people's clothes fitting differently, all great things. So that's what we're looking to do here over that 5-day course. The time is create those little goals for yourself. So common questions that we get a lot. How should you prepare for your reset? One thing I encourage you to do is create a shopping list. Tara said she already went to the store and is preparing what she's going to get. Make a list of what you're going to have for your fruits, your veggies. What do you want to keep on hand? Frozen fruit and veggies are great to have too, because you can pull those out quickly when needed. You also want to look at too, making sure that if you know that you're going to be on the go, you keep stuff with you. Do not go more than 2 to 3 hours without eating. We want to be resetting here, so we're not hungry. We want to keep the glycemic index very stable throughout this, and that's very important. We make sure we are prepared. If you know you're going to be going out to eat, plan ahead. Have your shake before you go. When you go there, get a plain salad. So there's no reason you have to say, I can't go out to eat this week, and make yourself feel bad. But if we can't avoid that, I encourage you to, though, because it is pretty difficult. I don't know about you guys, but if I go to a restaurant, I'm definitely probably going to want to eat, what's there. So it's a little more challenging. So pick and choose here what you're going to do with this. But again, know that there are options for you. So what should you expect when you reset? For all of us, I can honestly say it's different. I know some people, day 1, they get really bad headaches. So what are you going to do to help release some of those headaches? You need to be preparing yourself. So, noting that you're getting rid of all those greasy, chemical-laden foods, things that your body can't break down. And as you're doing that, you're releasing things. So those toxins, we know we need to check, are we drinking enough water? Are we making sure, have the extra tea if we need it? That caffeine boost sometimes will also help cut the headaches. But day 1, day 2, I think are really the days that you're kind of getting used to what you're doing. Personally, day 1, I never have any problem. I think that's the easiest day, because it's kind of like you're just getting in your routine, and it's kind of like, okay, I can do this in day 2. I don't know, day 2 I'm usually fine too. By day 3 is when I start to struggle, but I've never had a lot of these symptoms that some people do of headaches, stomach aches. But again, depends how bad your diet is, of what you're going to experience too. But I know the first time I did it, it's kind of funny, by day 4, I have to say the cravings were like the biggest things I noticed that went away. And if you guys ever go to Costco, it's one of my favorite places, but all the darn samples there. I can never say no to the samples. That's like, and all the kids are always so excited for the samples. And I still remember day 4 of the reset, and I didn't even want them. I was like, I made it through Costco, no samples. I was so proud of myself. So, we'll all kind of have our little things, but it's good to notice where are your triggers and just, be observant of those. So it helps to keep you motivated that you want to continue to move on. So, do you have to worry about being by a bathroom all the time? No, you do not need to be concerned about, you're drinking more water. So yeah, obviously you're probably going to have to go more, but you can, again, adjust this to make it so it's doable. And if you have any problems, again, we are here for you to answer questions and help you. If you have any, let's say colitis, irritable bowel syndrome, diverticulosis, anything to do with a digestive concern, this program is awesome. It really helps to get your body the good bacteria and to help to get you balanced, and all those, again, enzyme-rich foods are going to help to heal your digestive system. So this really is the perfect thing for anybody. So, and just to kind of also here mention real fast here what we're going to do to try to get us thinking in the direction of how are we going to shop? What should we be buying? I'm going to post this picture on the Reset page probably tomorrow here, but some of the things that we want to start to look at getting out of our refrigerator for good and out of our pantry. So now when you look at some of these ingredients, we sometimes, I think underestimate these things are in many products. So all of these are forms of sugar. So we want to try to avoid these, especially for the 5 days. But again, even after would be great. And something even simple as looking at, something like tortilla chips, you can find healthier options. So reading your labels, we want to get you to start to do that here so we can really get nourishing our bodies. So, just planning ahead on that. So getting more real food. And just real quickly here to wrap up, we want to make sure that we are really understanding the food that we're eating, that we are trying to be satisfied. We don't want to be sending the wrong messages to our body. Again, we're cutting out what we don't need. We're rebuilding our digestive system, and we're picking. Are we starting with a reset? Are we going more into a detox? And we have other options too to help you through this. So, all right, guys. Well, that was it, and that is our time. So let me open it up here a minute. Does anybody have any questions or anything you'd like to share? I know, Ann, you're on now too. If you'd like to add anything, feel free to. But anybody want to comment on anything, or was that helpful for you? If I can hear you.
It was really helpful. Can we share this after the fact?
Yep, I will. I'm recording it. So, yep, I will
Perfect.
make sure I post it. So
That's great. Thank you.
Sure, no problem. Anybody else? Any questions, comments?
Yeah, just one question from me here.
Sure.
I guess, is it a month's worth of vitamins and then the 5 days worth of the reset and other stuff, or how does that all kind of tally up?
Correct. It's going to be a month of the vitamins, and a lot of the other products actually will last you longer too. So after the reset, you kind of continue on with still taking your vitamins, but then adding your other food back in that you normally eat. And ideally, you'd stick between 1 shake a day still after this. So, yeah. Good question, though. Perfect. All right. Anybody else?
All right. So one question, it's January 4th right now. If I decide today or tomorrow that I'm going to do it, can I get my stuff in 4 days?
Comes very quickly, usually in about a day or two. So, yep, good question. But sooner the better, Anthony. So if you want me to help you out, definitely let me know. So I'll be more than happy to walk you through it too. So, good. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. And again, I will post this. So if you want to go through and listen to it again, you are more than welcome to. And again, we are here for questions. Facebook page too. Add any comments, questions anytime. So thanks, guys. Have a great night. Thank you. And some of us, we are staying on because we're going to be doing another call here in a minute. So feel free to hang out here. For our next one here. So thanks, guys.
Hey, there's some creepy bald guy behind you there.
Oh, I didn't even see you, Art.
he heard my voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just see that face.
Hey, Art, fun fact, 13 years ago today, you and I first started working together.
I know, isn't that crazy?
13 years ago.
That is crazy.
Wow.
I have a lot more.
No, you didn't.
That's funny.
All right. Thanks, Amanda. We'll see you guys.
Thanks. See ya. All right. I'm going to click over here a minute.
Still hear us?